Carls, and today I'm joined here with Maureen Black, and she's one of our attorneys here in Milwaukee. So thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about alimony and kind of what might happen in a cohabitating relationship. So one of the questions that we get online is what happens in a circumstance where an ex-spouse is receiving alimony and they begin living or cohabitating with a future partner, and what might happen to that alimony, kind of what happens in that scenario, because that can be frustrating for the ex-spouse that's paying in that scenario.
Sure, yeah. So the case of Van Gorder deals with that situation exactly. So the husband was paying maintenance or alimony to his ex-spouse, and she was in a cohabitating relationship, meaning she was living with a partner. Okay. So the husband filed a motion to modify maintenance and alleged that she was in a marriage-like relationship and that his maintenance obligation should end. So the court looked at the trial court actually only looked at that cohabitating relationship and said based off of that maintenance should be terminated. Okay. So it went through the Court of Appeals, went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court actually reversed the trial court's decision and said that the cohabitation itself can't be the only factor that's taken into consideration here. And some of the facts were that they weren't splitting the expenses equally. The ex-wife was actually paying more of the expenses. And they weren't exceeding a normal, or the expenses weren't abnormal. So it wasn't as if they were living lavishly and using the husband's or the ex-husband's income to do that. Okay. So the court will look at whether or not the husband's maintenance or the maintenance obligation is being used to fund a new partner's lifestyle, essentially. So the gist of the case is that the cohabitation itself is not enough to exactly warrant a termination of maintenance.
Okay, but it does sound like sometimes that can be the case. So in a circumstance where they're purposely trying to be in a marriage-like relationship and not get remarried just to continue receiving alimony, would that be something the court would also look at and may consider that it's no longer appropriate, or how might that work?
Yeah, definitely. It's another factor that the court will look at. A lot of situations where maintenance can be terminated automatically upon remarriage. So you get situations where people have been together for a long time and it's apparent that they're in a marriage-like relationship. They're just avoiding making it official because then the maintenance obligation is going to terminate. So in that situation, the court would look at the length of the relationship, how long they've been living together. Even if they're engaged or not engaged, that's a big factor there too. So definitely the court will consider that.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for doing this and sitting down with us and teaching us a little bit about how alimony might be impacted in the cohabitation situation.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Case Law Friday is a Sterling series focused on communicating in layman's terms, cases of precedent, statutes that guide decisions, and court procedures important to getting results in family law. Please like and subscribe. We hope these deep dive conversations create clarity, enabling you to better understand the rules that govern how decisions get made in family court.